fight to address election integrity is moving to the state of Pennsylvania. Very important one. Lawmakers there want former President Trump's help on this. State Senator Doug Mastriano wrote a letter to the 45th president, which reads in part, "We are working to end no excuse mail-in voting in our state. As you know, mail-in voting is ripe for fraud and abuse." And State Senator Mastriano joins us now. Sir, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Rob, for having me. What a crazy time we live in, and there's lots of unanswered questions. You know, we had that hearing in Gettysburg back on the 25th of November, and we just don't know the outcome. So we're running, of course, hearings in the House and Senate to get to the bottom of this, but there needs to be lots of reform before the next general election, to be sure.
I couldn't agree more. It is something else to think of them just sending out ballots to the entire country in a federalized election. I mean, there's not many places in a civilized world that would do that. They know what it would mean. Your letter outlines some of the steps that you guys want to take to ensure election integrity. You want the photo ID for absentee ballots. Georgia just passed a very similar law to what you guys are trying to do. They're now facing a set of lawsuits from civil rights groups like the ACLU, the NAACP. Of course, the allegation is racist, because everything is racist. Do you expect to get the same kind of turbulence if you pass this?
Yeah, absolutely. Instead of dealing with the case at hand and the issues and the facts, just call it a name, call it racist, which is the default setting of the left and the Democrats and the legacy media as well. Yeah. But look, if I saw elections in Afghanistan or more safe and secure than in Pennsylvania, it just doesn't make any sense. There's nothing racist about that. We want to empower people so each person has an equal voice, one legal vote per person. If somebody's dropping off a handful of ballots because there's not security or voting in someone else's name, that disenfranchises, and maybe that's really racist instead. The issues, there's so many issues here. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court stepped in, rewrote election law on September 17th. The Wolf administration, our governor, that they also changed election law on the 23rd of October and also the night before the election as well, which affected almost all the Republican counties. We want to restore people's faith and confidence in the election. And the way we do that, of course, is the no excuse mail-in voting has to go because the Pennsylvania Supreme Court stripped away the few safeguards that were actually in place to ensure little cheating. We want to make it hard to cheat and easy to vote. We're also looking at protecting poll watchers. Rob, you remember in Philadelphia when the poll watchers were kicked out and some guys were standing behind a line like 50 to 200 feet away with binoculars trying to watch ballots being counted. Right. So I also have legislation to empower poll watchers and up the ante a bit legally if they're deprived access, because we need transparency. We're looking at also voter ID. Senator Judy Ward's leading the charge on that. And so there's several of us here working legislation to try to get things right. We got to get it right. This is where it all began in Pennsylvania here in 1776, and we should be the model of perfect elections. And right now, we're not.
How does Trump help in this?
Yeah, so I had a good call with him yesterday, and obviously he liked the letter that I followed up with here. He's the leader of the Republican Party nationwide, and he's got the strongest, loudest, clearest, most confident, honest voice out there. And if he weighs in, as you know, on some of these issues here and trying to restore people's faith in voting, that we're not disfranchising anybody. We're not overturning anything. We're trying to ensure safe and secure elections. If he weighs in on this matter here, it might give us a little more oomph to get it across the line, because it's going to be an uphill battle in Pennsylvania. We do have a Democrat governor, but we need to do the right thing and get these legislative changes for voting law put in place before it's too late.
It's a big topic. They're doing it federally right now. They're trying to get their side done, S1, HR1, whatever you want to call it now. State Senator Doug Mastriano, state of Pennsylvania. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Thank you so much. All right.